Establishing video uplink.
Welcome to this training simulation, Commander. I'm Kiersey James, and I'm going to be helping you along as you progress. This scenario will help you get familiar with both the basic and the advanced concepts of our command and control system.
Throughout your training, you will use training stations to activate different sections of the training mission. Simply move your cursor over a training station and press A to select that section. You may interrupt a training station by selecting it again while it is running. After a few seconds, the station will reset and be ready for you to reselect the section. There are 4 major sections to the Tiberium Wars heads-up display. The mini-map is located in the bottom left corner of the screen. It allows you to keep track of your units and structures in all locations on the battlefield. It also displays important information, like your power meter and credits. The tab bar is to the right of the mini-map. The tab bar is inactive until you pull and hold the right trigger to expand the interface. The tab bar allows you to manage your build queues without having to manually select a structure on the battlefield. It also gives access to groups and powers. The selection portrait to the right of the tab bar indicates your current selection. The command bar opens horizontally when you expand the interface. You'll find all of your commands here, from building units and structures to using a unit's abilities. You can reference your objectives at any moment if you're having trouble figuring out what to do next. To access your objectives, press back. There are 2 types of objective markers. The yellow objective markers are primary objectives that you must complete in order to finish the mission. The green arrows are bonus objectives. Completing all the bonus objectives will unlock all the medals and ribbons available for that mission. If you ever need to know what a particular button, unit, or structure does, place the cursor over the object and a tooltip will appear. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This station covers camera movement, zoom, and rotation. To pan the camera, move the left stick up, down, left, or right. Move the camera in any direction now. To zoom the camera in or out, move the right stick up or down. Zoom the camera now. To rotate the camera, move the right stick left or right. Try rotating the camera now. To reset the camera to the default setting, click the right stick. Reset the camera now. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This station teaches some basic methods for selecting your units. Highlight these soldiers by placing your cursor over them. While your cursor is over the soldiers, press A to select them. The soldiers are now selected. Notice that your currently selected units have a rope around their feet to indicate that they're selected. Some units, like these riflemen, come in squads that are selected as a group when you press A on any of them. You can select all of your units on screen by holding the left trigger and then pressing A. Try selecting all of your units on screen now. Nicely done, Commander. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This section will teach you how to move your units. Select these units. Now place your cursor over open ground and notice that the cursor changes. This means that you may issue a move command. Press A to issue a move command next to the smoke signal.
Affirmative.
Great job. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This station will teach you how to issue attack commands. Select these soldiers. Now move your cursor over those enemy nod soldiers and notice that the cursor changes. This means that you may issue an attack command against these units. Press A while the cursor is over the nod soldiers. Your soldiers will move in and attack them until they're eliminated. When in range, your units will attack enemy units automatically. They will not, however, automatically target structures. You must issue an attack command to destroy those. Have your units destroy that nod power plant by issuing an attack command on the structure. Well done! The attack move command is used to make units move to a location, but stop to attack every enemy they encounter on the way. This differs from a normal move command, which will ignore every enemy unit along the way. To give these units an attack move command, select them, and then double tap A over open ground near those Nod soldiers to send your units on a path of destruction. Good work. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. Your collection of structures is referred to as your base. This section teaches the basics of base construction. The vehicle moving into view is an MCV. An MCV allows you to build the structures that will form your base. Select the MCV. To unpack your MCV, press and hold the right trigger. This expands your interface. Use left or right on the D-pad to reach the Unpack command in the command bar. Now press A on the Unpack command. Now that the MCV is unpacked, you have established ground control and can place additional structures anywhere within your build radius. Pull and hold the right trigger to expand the interface. The command bar is now open. Press left or right on the D-pad to navigate to the power plant icon. Now press A on the power plant icon. The structure is now being built. Every structure has a build time before it can be placed on the battlefield. Notice the tab bar is flashing. Your building is now ready. Pull and hold the right trigger to expand the interface. Now select the flashing tab. A blueprint of the structure appears under your cursor in the middle of the screen. The building can now be placed anywhere within your build radius. Press A to place the building. To return to your base at any time, click the left stick. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This section teaches you how to build the units that will fight for you. Select the barracks, and then pull and hold the right trigger to expand the interface. Use left or right on the D-pad to find the Rifleman Squad icon in the command bar. Now press A to begin building a squad of riflemen. You may queue up additional squads by pressing the A button again. Queue up an additional 2 squads. When one squad is completed, the next squad will begin to build. You can also access your build queues through the tab bar. The advantage of the tab bar is the ability to queue up units while you are out on the battlefield. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This station will teach you how to set a building to be your default building structure. This means when you build through the tab bar, the unit will come out of the building you set to be the default. For instance, here we have 2 barracks. Choose one of the barracks and select it. Now pull and hold the right trigger to expand the interface. Then use left or right on the D-pad to find the Set Default icon. Now press A on the icon. The barracks you selected is now the default building structure for infantry. Expand the interface by pulling and holding the right trigger and queue up some soldiers through the tab bar. Notice that the soldiers you've created come out of the barracks that you set as your default. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This station will teach you about upgrades and abilities. Units receive upgrades when you research them at buildings such as the Armory. Select the Armory and then expand the interface. Note the various upgrades in its command bar. Press A on the Composite Armor upgrade. The upgrade is now being researched. Select your rifleman and note that the upgrade is now indicated in the selection portrait. Good job, Commander. The riflemen now have the Composite Armor upgrade. Zone Troopers have a Jump Jet ability. This ability allows them to jump across impassable terrain. Select the Zone Troopers and then expand the interface. Press A on the Jump Jet ability in the command bar beyond the ravine.
Hit it! Over easy.
Your Zone Troopers were able to cross impassable terrain using this ability. Many units have abilities that are listed in the command bar. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This station will teach you how to execute special commands. Certain units perform special commands other than attacking. This engineer, for example, cannot attack structures, but is able to perform other unique actions. Select the engineer. Now place your cursor over the damaged power plant. Notice you get a different cursor indicating the engineer can enter and repair the structure. Press A on the damaged GDI power plant to command your engineer to enter the building and repair it. The engineer is lost in the process, and the power plant is repaired. The engineer can also capture an enemy building. Press right on the D-pad to cycle through your special units. The first selection will be your commando, if you have one. Every unit after that will be one of your engineers. Try it now. Select the engineer. Press A on the enemy NOD power plant to command your engineer to enter the building and capture it. The NOD power plant is now yours. Many units can perform actions other than attacking in certain situations. Look for special cursors that indicate these special commands. Nicely done, Commander.
Chip sold.
This station will teach you how to use powers. Certain buildings provide you with powers that can be used on the battlefield. You must spend credits to use these powers. The GDI airfield allows you to utilize the Orca bombing run power. To use your powers, expand the interface, select the Powers tab, and find the Orca bombing run power. Once your power is highlighted, your cursor on screen changes to a targeting blueprint. This lets you select where you want to fire your power. Move the targeting blueprint over that NOD structure, and then press A to use the power. Notice the bombing run power is able to damage enemy structures without you needing to jeopardize your units. The ability will go through a cooldown period before it's available again. Press left on the D-pad to cycle through and select powers. The selected power will show up in the selection portrait, and its targeting blueprint will appear on the ground. Try it now. Move the targeting blueprint over that NOD structure, and then press A to use the power.
Coordinates received. Stand by for bombing.
Nicely done, Commander. Continue your training by selecting the next training station. This station will teach you how to create groups. Groups are a combination of units or structures that you create in order to manage your army effectively. To begin creating a group, select these units. Expand the interface, move to the Groups tab, and open its command bar. Now find an empty group icon and then press and hold A. You have created a group. To select it again, just find that group's icon and press A. Press up on the D-pad to select and cycle through your groups. Notice that the selection portrait changes as you cycle through them. Press down on the D-pad to make your current selection a group in the next available slot. You can use groups to combine similar or diverse units depending on your strategic needs. As with the tab bar, one of the advantages of groups is the ability to select units and issue commands from any location on the battlefield. Now that you've learned the basics, let's try a small battle to test what you've learned. Welcome to the practice battle, Commander. This station will walk you through a practice battle against enemy forces. Begin by moving over to the MCV we have supplied you. NOD forces will waste no time trying to wipe you out, so establish ground control by unpacking your MCV. Construct a power plant and build a barracks as soon as possible.
Ready to roll.
New construction options. Building. Construction complete.
Now build a mixed group of infantry from your barracks, some riflemen and some missile squads. You may use this mixed group to scout the opponent's base to the north.
Training.
Rifle squad ready.
Now it's time to establish your economy. Build a refinery to harvest nearby Tiberium. Tiberium is a resource that brings in credits to fund your operations. Be careful not to let your infantry units near Tiberium. It is highly toxic and will damage them.
Missile squad ready for combat.
Rifle squad ready.
Construction
Rifle squad
complete.
ready.
Missile squad ready for combat.
Incoming transmission.
Defeating an opponent will often involve destroying important structures in their base. Knowing the function of each structure will help focus your strategy.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Roger out.
You can reference your objectives at any moment if you're having trouble figuring out what to do next. To access your objectives, press back.
Incoming transmission.
Tech structures are neutral buildings that can be used by all sides in a conflict. The engineer can capture tech structures like Tiberium spikes, which will provide you an additional source of income.
Unit under attack. Incoming transmission.
Infantry can be garrisoned in civilian structures to provide added defense. Use your infantry to garrison buildings in critical locations on the battlefield.
Understood.
Training.
Rifle squad.
You can select all of your units on screen by holding the left trigger and then pressing A.
Enemy in range. Rifle squad ready. Move out. Rifle squad ready.
Unit under
Light 'em
attack.
up. Ready. Assault fire.
Unit promoted.
Yes, sir. We'll hold the line. Assault fire. Make a push.
Congratulations, Commander. The Nod Army is defeated. Congratulations. You've completed your training. You can always revisit the boot camp to refresh your memory.
Mission accomplished. Philadelphia uplink successful. Welcome back, Commander. Today's threat level is low. The state of the planet is deteriorating. Tiberium infestation has reached critical levels. Red zones have suffered the worst contamination and cannot support human life. Yellow zones are dangerously contaminated, but contain most of the world's population. Decades of war and civil unrest have left these regions in a state of social collapse. The Brotherhood of Nod operates virtually unchallenged in these zones. They take advantage of the chaos to recruit members and disguise their military infrastructure. Nod's leader is a charismatic figure we know only as Kane. Kane is determined to accelerate the spread of Tiberium, believing it is the catalyst for the next stage of human evolution. However, in recent years, the Brotherhood has been suspiciously quiet, with little terrorist activity. The remainder of the Earth's surface is unscarred by Tiberium outbreak. These blue zones are considered the last refuge and hope of the civilized world, and are under the protection of the Global Defense Initiative. You have been assigned command of the GDI forces stationed on the eastern seaboard of the United States. Good luck, Commander.
Commander, General Jack Granger, good to have you on board. These are interesting times. I don't know if you know it, but INOPS has downgraded Nod's threat level to low. With Kane apparently dead, Nod's been fractured by internal power struggles. Recruitment's down 25%, and they've abandoned 4 bases in the last year. The prediction is another decade of peace. I say it's the calm before the storm. 28 years of fighting out, there's one thing I can say with absolute certainty. As long as there's Tiberium on Earth, Nod is a serious threat. If our intel says otherwise, it's because Nod wants us to take them off our radar. That's why I want you to go to North Carolina. Zone security stop what looked like a produce delivery truck yesterday, but it turned out to be a Nod vehicle. Before it could be searched, the driver blew it up, himself along with it. I want you to take some troops down there, see what you can turn up. Hopefully I'm wrong and this is just a false alarm. But if I'm right, be prepared for the worst. This is Lieutenant Sandra Telfair. She's from INOPS. She'll give you all the details of the mission. Lieutenant?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commander. Glad to be of service. Here's what we know so far. After the delivery truck incident, we turned Sky Sentry onto the area. And bingo, we located a high-output sub-Terra energy grid in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, Nod's up to no good. Your ace in the hole is an old base we have there. Bring it back online and you can recon the entire area. My advice is to engage the enemy only if necessary. No telling what those maniacs are hiding down there. Good luck, Commander. I'm here if you need me.
Greetings, Commander. This is GDI Battle Command. Here to get you up to speed on some of the ground operations for this mission.
Establishing video uplink.
Commander, we need you to locate the old GDI outpost and investigate rumors of a Nod presence in the area.
Move!
Incoming transmission. This outpost was abandoned many years ago after its strategic value waned. Once you arrive at the outpost, it can be reactivated remotely.
Good to be off normal patrol duty. Ready for orders, Commander.
Enemy unit sighted. Unit under attack. Establishing video uplink.
Looks like Nod is here after all. Eradicate the Nod forces occupying our outpost. Once those forces are evicted, we'll restore the outpost remotely, granting you access.